All right. Good evening. My name is Peter Lambert, aka Coach Big Pete of DeepDishFootball.com. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. Make sure you fill out the recruiting fill out the recruiting questionnaire, and I have your information. Recruits. Also, the Deep Dish Football game of the week, playoff game of the week. My last game coverage will be Coal City versus St. Francis. Now, I did St. Francis a couple weeks ago. They were the Deep Dish Football game week, so I might as well do a season so far roster profile about Coal City. I mean, there's nothing special. I've talked about this numerous times. Coal City only lost two players last year, in my eyes. Arias and Skubik. Those were the two players that I felt that were going to be huge losses, but they managed to, again, Coal City is a lot like a Wilmington, a Morris, a Mount Carmel, a Glenbard West. Two kids leave, four kids enter. This is a strong football community, a sense of pride that they have in their football program. And as soon as a kid leaves, they have two more kids that enter. This is a great team. Um, so we go into the players. Asa Cooper, hell of an athlete, definitely a player to keep an eye out for. Brady Crawford, he just committed to Sioux Falls. Jezik is one of the top players in the state of Illinois. He committed to Oklahoma State for wrestling. Um, then you go into Peyton Hutchings, underrated quarterback. Austin Polera, underrated linebacker in the state of Illinois. They got a good offensive line, good size in the offensive line as well. Jack Bunton, another player. Jacob Janowsk, and I'm forgetting one more player. There's one more player I forgot to talk about. Austin, I think it's Austin Ellis, if I'm not mistaken. Another center offensive lineman to keep an eye out for. Again, is this a surprise that they were good with the roster players? No, this was going to be a special season. If you looked at before the season, the players that they had on the roster, and I felt that Payne Hutchings was an underrated quarterback, underrated passing attack. I felt that the big struggles were going to be Bishop Mack, Morris, and Wilmington. They won. They won those games. And you got to give it to Coal City. They did not schedule against any cupcakes for their non-conference games. They scheduled against hard, tough teams that would challenge that team, and they won. So when you talk about a team that schedules cupcakes and they go into playoffs and they get the shit kicked out of them, Coal City's not one of them. Coal City, again, they play tough, hard-nosed football, and they schedule tough, hard-nosed teams. Bishop Mack is a tough team. Coach Ziani, Morris, that was another win. Wilmington is a part of their conference, and they won that game. You have to take your hat off for this Coal City team and these roster players. Going into the schedule, they had two of the openers: Morris, Bishop Mack, Hersher. We thought Hersher was going to be good, but then they weren't that good this year. Piatone, big win. Piatone's was a good team this year. Streeter, Mantino was a good team this year. They won. Lyle, good team. They won. Wilmington, won. Recuster, the big rivalry game, they won. They went up against Phoenix Military Academy. I think that was mostly we knew that they were going to win. Kewanee win. Now they got St. Francis. Now, and then I talked about this, and I talk about this a lot. If they're able to beat Win St. Francis and they get into a semifinal and say it's IC or Richmond Burden, I'm telling you right now, that's going to be a tough game. That's going to be a really tough game. But I really do believe in the magic of this season for the Coal City Colors. I think this is a magical team. I talked about this before. I think Coal City has a great shot getting to the state title game and has a great shot of winning the state title. I really do. Knock on wood. I think this is this is a magical season for the Colors, no doubt about it. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I have another video up about St. Francis that I did 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. You can check it out on the schedule and team so far. I'll get into the Coal City versus St. Francis football preview tomorrow. To be doing magic numbers. Talk about it on Deep Dish Football Live Wednesday, 8 p.m. on Deep Dish Football Live. Talk about some of the players, more player interviews. Thank you to Brady Crawford for the interview, Jazik for the interview. So just thanks again for the interviews. We'll go more into it later tomorrow, day after, and then Friday will be the final thoughts, and then Saturday the Deep Dish Football Playoff Game of the Week. Coal City versus St. Francis, quarterfinals IHSA Football 2019. If you like the work, feel free to leave a tip via PayPal link, and please follow Coach McPete, Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and please subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much, and have a lovely night.